AFTV, Lee. The question I just have to ask straight away. I'm going to ask everybody this tonight straight away. Is that it for Mikel Arteta? Should he be sacked after that performance?
Well, we'll find out in the next couple of days whether the Cronkies and Arsenal Football Club is a big club. Because, listen, I've really wanted it to work for him. Really wanted it to work for him. But it's not happening. And if it was any other football club, if Manchester United were in this position now, they'd be sacking the manager. Just as simple as that. You know, it's a results-driven business. Unfortunately, he's not getting the results. You lose four home games at home consecutively, not scoring hardly any goals in those games, and you can't justify it. Can't defend it.
It's relegation form.
Yeah, it is, and it's poor. We're not scoring goals. We're conceding goals. You know, listen, we wasn't even really. The first half, I didn't think was great. We're lacking quality. We're lacking everything. But what we're lacking leaders on the pitch, and unfortunately, we're lacking someone with a bit of experience off of it.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, it's a huge job.
Yeah.
We all know there's a lot of problems, but it seems like the problems are even more now. Right? I was thinking to myself, things are steadied, but as well as on the pitch, you've got Saliba off the pitch this week. It's sounding like he's really upset that he's not getting a game. Nobody still seems to know the real reasons why he's not getting a look in. You've got the Ozil situation where you've got a £350,000 a week player just sitting it out at home week in, week out. Whether he's good enough or not seems strange. You've had all the incidents of Gunnosaurus getting sacked. The
leaks.
The leaks of players and people at the club being made redundant. It just seems an absolute mess from top to bottom right now at Arsenal, and it's strange.
Yeah, I can't argue with anything that's going on at the moment. Listen, today, let's just talk about the manager today. He had a chance today to do things, to shake it up a little bit, because the players that he's been picking have not been working. They've not been performing, and they've been letting us down week in, week out. When it come to it, players have played quite well in the midweek games. But when it come to it, he chose exactly the same team, barring Partey injury today, to the team that let us down against Tottenham. You know, to me, I've got no defence whatsoever for him today. If you're a young player wanting to get into the side, what indications have you got? When you keep playing players that continue to keep letting you down, players like Willian, players like Bellerin that have been poor, not having a go at these players, they're just out of form, Robbie. When your player is out of form, you have to take them out of the firing line. He has not done it, you know. And then these players have let him down. But I don't blame the players. I blame him for allowing it to happen. Xhaka's let him down today. His reward is he's kept playing him week in, week out.
Now he's going to be out for the whole of the Christmas period.
Well, that'd be all right. He can spend it with his baby, can't he, like that he's had? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he ain't going to be gutted, is he? Do you think these players are gutted, Robbie? Because well, they ain't, are they? Because I watched them in a North London derby just stroll around. And the reward was they play again today. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I've got no defence of this manager today. You know, I really, really wanted it to work with him, Robbie. Desperate for him to work. But he's not done it.
Do you see anything to suggest any sort of change going forward? Because
I'll tell you.
I mean, you have the Ralph Hasenhüttl situation at Southampton, who ironically we're going to be playing on Wednesday, right? Where he got beaten 9-0. They stuck with him, and he's managed to turn it right around. Can you see that at all with this manager?
I don't see anything happening with Arsenal. Do you know why, Robbie? Because we've got a weak, gutless board, an owner that don't really care. Because if they did care, they'd put us out of our misery and get rid of him now. That's what a ruthless and top club does. Right? Simple. Yeah? But they won't. You know what I mean? They won't do it.
Why?
Because they're weak. They're weak. The fact of the matter is they're weak. part of you have a look at it and you go, right, yeah, hopefully it'll change, yeah, right? But sometimes you have to make it change, Robbie. And the way you make things change is you make a couple of decisions and you take a couple of people here out and whatever. And then you look at yourself as a manager or a coach and you go, do you know what? I'm trying everything here and it's not working. So, like, you know, but at least I've tried everything that I possibly can in my capacity and it's not worked. And you can walk away with your head held high. He hasn't changed a thing. He's not brought in the youngsters and give them a go or anything. He's just kept playing the same trusted and tried people and they've continued to let him down. I've got no sympathy for him. If he'd have tried it, if he'd have mixed it up today, put in a Ballygan or someone like that today and things wouldn't have gone well, I thought, do you know what, at least he's having a go, he's trying. But these, you know, people are saying he's lost the dressing room. Well, these players have got to have a good look at themselves because these are players he has backed. He's backed these players week in, week out over the, you know, the last few games. Willian has played in every game bar one through injury. He's let the manager down.
What do you think? What do you think Arteta's thinking? Do you think he's sitting there thinking to himself, you know what, this job's too big for me? Or do you think he's thinking, no, I can turn this around?
No, I don't. Listen,
I don't see no signs.
I don't see no signs of it, you know. And I look at it today, and that team selection was of more of hope than anything else. It was out of desperation that maybe that Aubameyang might turn it round and whatever. Sometimes in football you have to have a shake-up. Now this might go for him that these two players are sent off because he's got he ain't got no choice. So that, you know, he has got to shake it up. But he should have done it today. The next 3 games, you know, on current form and the way we're playing, let's just take it from the realistics of the way we're playing. We ain't going to get a point. So when is the cut-off point? When are you going to turn around and say, right, enough's enough? Because, and that is my biggest worry now, like, you know. And listen, there's been fans that have been calling it for weeks and weeks. I've been one of the fans that's been desperately hoping that it's survive it and be able to do it. But I'm looking at it now, and today I said in there in before the kickoff, when I looked at that team, I was disheartened. I was disheartened because I knew what was coming, because they've continually let me down for the last 6-7 weeks. Now, I don't know why all of this has happened. Something happened in the summer and it's gone on from there. And we've not been able to, he's not been able to shake it. And unfortunately, he hasn't got the experience to be able to fall back and try and get over it, Robbie. He hasn't been able to do that. And that is unfortunate, you know. I'm desperate for him to try, but, you know, I'm watching it like Burnley today weren't scared of us, Robbie. Come on, they're not scared to come to the Emirates, and they fancied it. They fancied it. That tells you everything you need to know. A team that's won one game in that scored 5 goals, one game, right? But they fancied it. Now, I can't see Mikel turning it around. God, I'd love him to. I'd love him to come to do it, but you can't. You know, listen, he was very, very critical of Pepe. Now he's got to come out and be very, very critical of Arteta, of Xhaka. He's got to be. You can't. And the fact of the matter is, and what a lot of people are having a go at him, and like Saliba's having a go at him, you know, is one rule for one rule for another. So now I want to see him come out and condemn Xhaka as much as he has done Pepe. You know, and as you say, now we miss him for 3 games. I don't think that's going to be a bad thing for missing for 3 games, Robbie, because he's not been playing well for whatever reason. I don't know, but if he hadn't got himself sent off today, he'd have been playing on Wednesday night.
Yeah, well, any chance Wednesday night?
There's always a chance, because the referee might send one of their players off or something like that. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen in a game of football. God. You know, but I looked at the game against Tottenham, and you're thinking, right, it's a North London derby. Everybody talking rubbish, how form goes out the window and things like that. But basically, I see 11 players turn up and not perform. I've now watched this game today, not perform. So what is going to make these players perform? What is going to make it? Well, I'll tell you what makes them perform. Some young blood in there with a bit of like bottle, or a manager. Now, if he's not going to be prepared to change the team up and mix it up, then I'm afraid we're going to have to get a new manager. And I can't see us winning another game under Mikel at this moment in time.